Good evening. Hello and welcome to this edition of the Startup Central. I'm Nayantara Rai, working from home. This is the only show of its kind on Indian television dedicated, of course, to startups, but also technology, innovation, disruption, entrepreneurship. If it falls under the gambit of the new economy, it's here every weekday at 6 p.m. on ET Now. Ladies and gentlemen, like all the stakeholders we feature on the show that are so gracious and welcoming for constructive criticism, so are we. We are following their footsteps. We want to hear from you. Tell us how we can improve, what's missing in the show, how we should be doing things differently, what you never want to see on the show. We want to hear from you. Our email address right on top, suc@etnow.tv. I can also be reached out directly on Twitter. And with that out of the way, let's take you to the top headlines at this hour when it comes to the startup universe. It's time now for Startup Central Fatapat, and we do this in Fatapat style. Here it goes. The government think tank Niti Aayog has announced 15 new challenges for India's startup and MSME ecosystem to address. ISRO, Ministry of Housing, Health, Defense, Food Processing have all announced 3 challenges each for sectors that they preside over. Indian MSMEs and Indian startups who solve these challenges are going to win 50 lakh rupees as grant. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will digitally launch the PMMSY tomorrow, as well as the e-Gopala app. What are they about? Well, the former is to do with fisheries as well as livestock. The latter is for a direct marketplace for farmers. Amazon India will add 5 sort centers and expand another 8 to strengthen capacity, all ahead of the upcoming Diwali festive season. The 5 new centers will be in Visakhapatnam, Bengaluru, Ahmedabad, as well as Ahmedabad. Apple accuses Epic Games for violating contract, slams Epic's Fortnite payment scheme as theft. As you sow, so shall you reap. So can well be replaced by sue here. Apple countersued Epic just after its defense against Epic's legal charges on the issue of Apple's anti-competitive practices. In his signature style at the London Stock Exchange. That's what investors are wondering. David Beckham's esports team, Guild Esports, planning an IPO at the London Stock Exchange. The listing proceeds will be used to fund the expansion of Guild Esports as it looks to ride the surge of online gaming. Esports is aiming for a valuation of 50 million euros. Will esports bend it like Beckham? And short video apps are certainly a rage these days, aren't they? Especially after the TikTok ban. Daily Hunt also riding on this with its new offering called Josh. The app will feature 120-second long videos across various categories. It is collaborating with T-Series, Sony, Z Music. Right, we're going to begin today's show with Motown. Why are we beginning with Motown? Because you have seen a lot of consumer internet companies come up catering to the auto sector. Cars24 is one of them, and we decided to get the co-founder and CMO Gajendra on the show the same day that we've seen industry body FADA, which is the industry body actually for all the dealerships, come together to come out with data. We have, of course, seen a deceleration in sales, Hero MotoCorp, of course, being an outlier. So Gajendra, welcome to Startup Central. I want to ask you that while the dealers are still struggling or trying to bounce back from COVID-19, how has the resale market done? Have people been buying cars digitally? What is the trends looking like?
Yeah, thanks, Nayantara, to have me on the show. The resale, the business, the used car business is right now on its peak. Post COVID, the demand of used car has been recovered very quickly, and currently the used car sales have gone beyond how the sales level were pre-COVID. So overall, used car is seeing a positive impact. They are on a very strong trajectory to grow, and now we are looking at almost 2x growth by the end of 2020 in the used car market. And it's purely driven by the fact that consumer now wants to travel safely from wherever he wants to go, and does not want to use the public transportation and want to avoid getting exposed to the virus. So this is the fueling the demand of the used car, and we have now witnessing it as well. Cars24, in fact, recovered pre-COVID level back in July, and in August we saw almost 22% growth. So far it's looking great. Customer also now want to transact more and more digitally, and also they want more doorstep services as well. So we have made a lot of improvements on our processes where customer transactions are completely touchless, and also they can avail all kind of home services to be able to sell their car without actually coming out of their house. So the market is booming. The consumers are flocking to buy cars, and it's a really good time to be in this category.
Growing now almost 2x, but the big question is, Gajendra, that how far are you from where you were pre-COVID, pre-lockdown?
Yeah, so we were transacting close to 14,000 cars pre-COVID, and in month of August we already closed 15,000 cars in month of August. So clearly we have grown beyond the level of what we were in February 20, and now given the festive season is about to start as well, and later half of the year of is always good for the auto industry, primarily because of year-ending festive season and a lot of discounts being offered by OEMs. So if the recovery is so strong already, later half of the year is going to be much better than what it is was in July and August. So used car overall is looking in a good shape, while new car is still on its way to recovery. And I think Pata today reported the number that the year-on-year sales recovery is close to 93%. So which is a good sign for the new car industry as well. And I think it's only going to go up from here on out.
So tell me something, you're growing 2x, you're saying you're trying to bounce back to the levels you were pre-COVID. Give us some ideas, with Uber, Ola's, etc. out of favor as well. What would you say are the best sellers in the resale market?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question. So best sellers in the resale market are always, so given now the COVID in COVID times, the consumers are buying cars primarily because of the fact that they want to travel safely, right? So whenever you want to buy anything purely based on your need, and it's not that you want to upgrade your lifestyle, or you are buying some car because you aspire to own that car, now as completely owning a car is based on pure need. So that's one of the reasons customers also do not want to spend extra money to buy a new car, and that's why they want to buy a used car. And given the liquidity crunch right now everybody is facing, they also want to spend the least amount of possible on the car. So we are seeing the higher demand in the cars of hatchbacks, smaller hatchbacks like i10 and the Swift are the top selling models what we have, followed by the Wagoner, followed by the Desire. So I think what we have witnessed is that higher growth in demand of small hatchbacks and sedan as compared to the mid-size SUVs and SUV and even the crossover. So that also shows a reflection that consumers are now looking to buy a car at the cheapest expenditure. At the same time, I think now consumers are earlier the primary reason when we were asking customers why they are selling car, I think close to 50 to 55% of customers were telling that they are looking to sell a car because they are planning to buy a new car. But now that same share has gone down to close to 40 to 45% customer, which means now there are more and more first-time buyers which are coming and transacting with Cars24. And that ratio has jumped from 45% to close to 55% now of the first-time buyers.
Give me an idea. You can't just say hatchbacks. Give me an idea what kind of hatchbacks. I'm asking you for the best sellers. It's on your platform. Which brands, which car models,
Yeah. So
what
best sellers
size?
So the best sellers are Swift. So Swift is the one of the most sold car on Indian roads. So Swift is one of the best sellers what we have on our portal. Followed by i10, Hyundai i10. That's another car which is being loved by the consumers because both of these cars are durable. They it's cheap to own them. They don't require much maintenance. And also they while you are riding them they also don't give you much trouble, and the mileage is perfect, right? Mileage is another advantage while you own that car. So all in all, these two cars are the best selling cars what you can play from, and not only this month of August, but in the previous few months as well. So these cars always are wannabe cars in the used car ecosystem, and it continues to be like that. Followed by the Desire. So like Swift Desire, Maruti Swift Desire is a car which if you are looking for some bigger size car and if you are a guy who likes to own sedan and not hatchback, so Swift Desire is another car where it's good on mileage, it's good, it has good sleek design, it also low on maintenance. So when it comes to sedan, the Swift Desire is the clear winner we have.
Okay. Now give me a little idea of the pricing. I'm sure in the resale market, the valuations have taken a knock since the lockdown.
Mm. Like valuation of what sort? Can you come back, please?
Let's say you were selling a Swift Desire for,
Yeah.
which had clocked a certain mileage, and whatever its shape and condition was pre-COVID, may not be able to, command the same price today simply because, people's disposable incomes have fallen. You've seen people lose jobs. There is pressure and stress, right? So, where is that all at when it comes to pricing?
I think the pricing is something which has played very interesting role in current times, because at one level there's a liquidity crunch in the market, but at the same time you are seeing the huge demand, means there are more number of customers now looking to own a car. So demand is higher, which ideally should pressure, which actually should impact the pricing on the supply side. So in a way, with higher demand should lead to the better pricing of used car. However, it has not seemed to impact, in used car pricing till now. In the data what I have seen so far in our company, the pricing of hatchback cars, which I've stated, Hyundai i10 and Swift, which are two most selling cars what we have, the price has broadly remained same what it was pre-COVID. Now, when it comes to Desire and the Honda City, which are the top two sedan what we sell, over there pricing has only marginally shifted 2 to 3%, which is not something which is what we are something to talk about, because of the impact on the economy is huge, but the pricing variation is not that much. So I think it's a combination of liquidity crunch currently, which is being compensated with the higher demand of the used car. So both of these factors are playing against each other, which is kind of balancing out the pricing of used car overall, which are where it was before.
Okay, so that's about as far as pricing goes. Now, give me an idea of the geographies and the kind of towns that are doing well. Have you seen a bounce back in the smaller towns as well?
Yeah, sure. So I think in metros, if I compare metros, which has given me better recovery, or where we are seeing the recoveries coming out faster, Bangalore seems to be a clear winner. Bangalore has recovered not only faster but at much higher level than what it used to be before, followed by NCR, and then followed by Mumbai now. Mumbai came slow, but now Mumbai is also showing good growth. Now, when it comes to tier 2 and above, right? Tier 2, tier 3 towns, over there we are now seeing the good recovery, and over there the recovery is as good as what we are seeing in the metro. And I actually have a different point of view here, because I heard many places where everyone is talking about higher demand in tier 2, tier 3 towns as compared to metro towns. But in our data does not show anything of that sort. We are showing the equal surge in demand in metro cars as well, metro cities as well as tier 2 and above. And the reason what I feel primarily because of that, because metro cities are the one where the public consumers have a huge dependency on public transportation as compared to smaller towns. So in metro as well, right now there's huge pressure on a consumer to own a car, because of public transportation right now either not available, or they don't feel safe because of the social distancing all, and it's not practically possible at those places. So metro is seeing a huge demand surge as well, as much as how the demand surge was in tier 2 and 3 towns. While pre-COVID era, you're right, pre-COVID era, we were growing much faster in smaller towns as compared to metro towns. But now post-COVID, metro towns are now recovering as good as smaller towns, and both of these geographies are showing equal amount of growth.
Okay, so what kind of smaller towns are you seeing the recovery in? And what about the two-wheeler market? How is that done for you?
And the two-wheeler market is we are where I think when it comes to tier 2 towns, to answer your first question, Lucknow and Jaipur have shown extremely good recovery for us as compared to how it was pre-corona level, followed by Kochi, followed by Coimbatore down in the south. These 4 cities have shown really strong bounce back, and I think these 4 cities also have traditionally been a good auto market overall, and it was vital for the industry to see these cities coming back and getting completely recovered, and it has happened quite rapidly as well. Now, as far as compare about the bike market, we Cars24 launched the bike segment as well, in May 2020, and currently we are buying and selling bikes in NCR primarily. Over there, given we have just started, 4 months ago. We are continuously seeing the demand of bikes, at least for the Cars24. We are growing close to 100% month on month, but we are pretty small in size at this moment. However, we are scaling extremely fast because we are getting a pretty good response from the consumers who are right now want to own a bike. But overall, from the industry outlook point of view, I think bike segment recovery has lagging behind auto new car recovery, and I think it's just a time which is taking for it to pick it back up because of current economic situation. But I think in next couple of months, as we are coming closer to the festive season, the bike segment will also going to recover back to what it was pre-corona.
Okay, I have my final question for you, and I'm very curious about this. Now, inspections, how did that happen? How did that happen during the lockdown, even the post-COVID, even post the lockdown? People are still not back to doing all the activities they were doing. I'm sure there are certain fears about, a stranger's car becoming your car, delivery. How has all that taken place?
And that's a good question, and I think over there we have seen a paradigm shift in the consumer behavior on how it was before and after, and we realized it during the lockdown. During the lockdown, entire business was shut, right, and we were complying with the government, guidelines. But as soon as the lockdown got over from 4th of May onwards in a restricted manner, what we did was that we tailored our processes and our entire website and steps to accommodate customer new need to be served at the doorstep, new need of customer, that the customer doesn't prefer to now go out and be at some places where he will have to be with a group of people, right? So, and that actually, when we started that, we saw a huge response where our business, which was coming earlier, like if I had to give you some example, inspection at customer's home versus inspection at, let's say, Cars24 branch. Before COVID, almost 95% of the business was coming at branch, while only 5% of the business was coming from home inspection. Now, post COVID, close to 60 to 70% of business is now coming from home inspection, while only 30-35% is business coming from branch. So that shows a significant shift in consumers' behavior now, where they are looking to get more and more services at their home. They want brand to come to their doorstep or their office where they're at, and they want to restrict their movement as much as possible, where they will have to be in a closed environment with group of people. And the customers are now right now looking for these kind of services to be offered by the brands, and we were very quick in moving to cater those changing consumer needs. And because of that, I think we also be able to got really good response, and it also helped in our recovery as well. And now I see a lot of other brands are also following the same same technique, and they are also offering a lot of services at customers' home. And I think this is the new normal for all of us, and it's going to stay like that, and it's not going to change much from where we are at today.
Okay, so with that, Gajendra, thanks a lot for joining us here. So we were trying to get some trends and figure out what's happening on the internet when it comes to the resale market, the second-hand market for cars as well as bikes. We have seen some kind of a bounce back in the traditional dealership, and these are insights according to the consumer internet company Cars24. Well, with that, we're going to take a short commercial break. Before we do that, here's a game changer. It certainly changed my life when I was in school. It got me into a lot of trouble as well. Yes, one of my friends had a console. I spent a lot of time and hours on it. I'm talking about the PlayStation. The PlayStation was released today, exactly today, in the 90s, 1995 to be precise, in the United States. So we thought we'll just rewind, and on your screens is what the first PlayStation looked like.